Hello and welcome to my first AoE 2 post-game commentary. Today we have a 1v2v2. We have Frodo the Pink as... let us see the civilizations. We have Frodo the Pink as Britons, the King's Army as Huns, the Tudor as Mayans, Gandalf as Britons, and Mert as Incans. 1v2v2, you may be wondering. This situation came about because a person had dropped in the game lobby and everyone was anxious to continue playing, and as a result we have this. The map is on Mega Random. As always, Mega Random spawns very unique maps, and in this case it spawned what looks to be initially Team Islands. However, I play as Frodo this game. However, I'm going to refer to myself as Frodo just to avoid confusion between me constantly changing between I and me and Frodo. So Frodo here is all alone on his own island. No connection to the mainland where the rest of the four players are. Gandalf and the King's Army are allied together. However, the team together option was not enabled, so they seem to have been not linked by land, except for this main island here that connects all four players. Initially, we see that the Tudor and Gandalf are next to each other, so this will be a very interesting start to see how much harassment these guys do to each other. I believe the Tudor has already scouted and realized that Gandalf is very close to him. The Incans here are way back, isolated, far back with his ally here, so he will not have to worry about being rushed early on unless we see some transport ships providing units into this land to harass Red from Huns. Everyone is going about their standard builds. Let's speed things up a bit. We see our first dock coming in from green. No docks from anyone else. No, still no fighting, no resistance for now. Oh, we're trying to see some lovely scout action here. Gandalf is trying to take away some sheep. However, he might lose his scout cavalry. Nope, he managed to avoid 3 incoming hits right now. 4 incoming hits and counting. 5 incoming hits. 6 incoming hits. 7. Wow. That is a lot of idle time that he has just caused. Oh, okay. He's getting hit. He's too close to the town center, and finally the scout who has survived 6 shots has died. However, he has caused a major... Gandalf has found all of his sheep, and he knows where his closest enemy is. So at this point, even though he's lost his scout, it's still not a big... excuse me. It's still not a big problem for him. However, he has caused Mayans to have a lot of idle time very early in the game, which does give Gandalf that slight advantage to perhaps aging up faster so he can begin his rush earlier. Let's have a look at the other players. Everyone's still building up. Oh, it seems Frodo here has lost a villager to a boar. Perhaps not having looking around the map or something very similar. Again, the green is the only one at this moment to have built a dock. I believe we might see some docks in the next 2 minutes. However, green is currently getting the advantage of having 2 fishing ships out already. Let's speed things up a bit. We see a dock from Frodo coming in now. And he will be going fishing ships. A couple more fishing ships from the Tudor here. Gandalf and the Tudor are contesting for the same shorefish. So Tudor getting an early dock out and some early fishing ships is actually going to be beneficial. He's getting to untapped resources, which Blue is not doing so at the moment. More fishing ships from Frodo. Oh, here we see the beginnings of a bit of turtling. We're going to see a house from Tudor and a palisade wall from Gandalf. Perhaps these two do not want to engage each other now. A simple 2-wall palisade has blocked each other off. If Gandalf realizes or has realized that the Tudor has fishing ships here in the water and he could get a few galleys out here, he could potentially harass a good chunk of Green's eco. Green currently has 4 fishing ships, which if he loses them, this is a very huge hit to his eco. Getting some idle villages. I don't think he has realized that these villagers have completed their task. Let's look at Hans. Still, these 3 players here are not being contested as much. They're free to boom and develop their economies. 5 fishing ships here from Mayans. Let's see how the economy of Gandalf and the Tudor are different. Alright. So Gandalf is just about to feudal. Let's look at the Tudor. Tudor is not doing so well, although he did have a few fishing ships. He is significantly behind in villager production, having only, with fishing ships, a total of 20. While Gandalf having 25. This is a major advantage for Gandalf, even though he currently does not have the water. We see teammates here pinging each other where they are, where everyone is. We see Gandalf having realized there is another path into his base, so he will. Does this path connect to Green at all? No, I don't think he realizes, but there is no path between Green and him. But he has begun to wall it. Not much action here. We do see Frodo going quite heavy on wood. This might imply some galley rushing perhaps, while Hans not so much. Having not built a dock, I don't think he will be going in the water anytime soon. Same applies to Red here. We see Gandalf making his first dock. Has he realized that there is gonna be? Yes, he has. He has realized that there are fishing ships in. Green has made some fishing ships, and I do believe we'll see some galleys here to rush. Now, from both players here, we can see that they're both building barracks. So we're gonna see not only some sea action here in a few minutes, but we're also gonna see some land battles. This wood line from the Tudor was unfortunate, because when this was made, the Tudor had no idea that Gandalf was on the other side of this forest. This woodland here is going to get harassed a lot. He might potentially lose a few villages if Gandalf could get some archers out. Barracks from both players have been completed. Anything special happening over here? All three of these players are still booming. Oh, we see a barracks from the Huns. What could he be possibly achieving? Or is this just an early barrack for Archer Rush maybe? To help out his ally Green? We see Red still booming. Red with the barracks as well, with a couple of militia. We might see this militia perhaps when he gets to feudal attack. Gandalf is nearly feudal age, while with a population of 26, the Tudor with a population of 25, he has managed to catch up, and he is also making militia. However, he does not have the resources and is nowhere near to going to feudal age. Let's look at Gandalf. I do believe he is starting to make a few galleys. Oh, maybe wrong. We see some militia trying to get through this palisade wall. Gandalf has signaled his ally that there is a militia rush. We see an archery range from Gandalf. I think he might be going skirmishers or archers. Potentially archers to counteract these militia. We're gonna see a stone wall being built to prevent these militia from coming through. Is he mining stone? Is Gandalf mining stone? Gandalf is not mining stone. However, it does not seem like he'll be going castle age anytime soon, so he most likely will not need it. We see 3 militia out for the Tudor here. We see Gandalf going with archers. Very good choice against militia. Gandalf being housed. Gandalf has still yet to make any ships to counteract these fish here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fishing boats. And I don't believe that the Tudor knows and is not prepared for an onslaught. Just a couple of galleys in here will devastate this economy and harm the Tudors a lot. Tudor has not taken. This is interesting. The Tudor has not taken his bow, nor has he taken his. Tudor has not taken his bows. Perhaps this was the reason why he was not able to feudal as fast. We see our first galley coming in from Gandalf. We have 4 militia here from Tudor. The wall has been built. We see Gandalf garrisoning his archers inside. Here, Frodo is building his second dock. I do believe he is most likely, whilst mining a lot of gold, a lot of wood, I do believe he is going to go for a galley rush and try and keep hold of the water. Meanwhile, he will not encounter any resistance from the Huns, nor will he from Red. Red has just now feudal aged. Red has quite the army of militia, which need to be sent to Green's base to help out Green. These militia standing idly will not do any good. These militia need to help out the offensive or the defensive of Green. Galley has been made by Gandalf, still not attacking these fishing ships. Not yet, I presume. Gandalf has been housed with currently 4, with a population of 35, 4 of them archers and 1 galley. Let's go to the Tudor. He has also a population of 35 and having 4 militia. Let's look at it from Tudor's point of view. Yes, he does see the archery range, and he is going to feudal. It'll be interesting to see. And the galley has come in, and so he has begun. The galleys have come in to take out these fishing ships. All of these fishing ships are unfortunately going to die. The archers have come in and they are harassing the wood line. Is he going to be able to kill this villager here? Nope. Five archers from Gandalf. Frodo already building some galleys. Where will he be taking these galleys to? There's not much of a sea presence from any other player apart from Gandalf. We see Gandalf has broken through. This section was not walled by the Tudor. All he had to do was break his own wall. Now Gandalf has 5 archers coming in, and he has five archers here, 6 now, and he has forced the Tudor to garrison in his town center. This is going to significantly hamper his economy. Let's look at Gandalf here. Gandalf is possibly looking to maybe, yes, I do believe so, he may possibly looking to go Castle Age. He does have the resources to do so. 2 galleys out from here from Gandalf. Gandalf will be destroying all of these fishing ships here. Oh, we see an archer versus militia battle here. Gandalf microing all of his archers. He has already killed 1 militia, 2 militia, 3, and the last one, will he be able to? Yes, he just managed to save his archer at 2 HP. He now has a total of 8 archers, and these archers are free. I see no military or land or sea from the Tudor. He is now free to go harass Green's eco. Again, Gandalf and his legendary. I'm not sure if this Gandalf knows the techniques of evading town center fire, but he has managed to save at least 1 archer here. Gandalf seems to be good at avoiding town center fire, but we'll see as the game progresses. The town center here is blocking his entry to the wood line at the back, the stone and the gold. Let's see what Gandalf here does. Loses an archer, loses another archer. I think I spoke too soon. Oh, he's avoiding town center fire. Where's he gonna go? He loses another archer. 3 archers down. 4 archers down. Oh, what do we have here? Is this a land invasion from Frodo? Frodo is at the castle age. We potentially might see a castle drop here. While Gandalf has lost 3 archers, but has managed to get back into one of the wood lines and is harassing. He is building more archers to compensate for the loss. He has completely obliterated Green's Water. Hans, has he realized that there is an army of villagers in his base? Perhaps he has yet to see. Perhaps attacking his villagers, perhaps Frodo attacking the villagers is a sign for him. We see cavalry archers already having been built by the Huns. These villagers, if they are going for a castle drop, I don't think it will be successful. These villagers will be hunted down by these cavalry archers. And all those 10 villagers, what a waste. We see a defensive tower from the Tudor going to be killing this archer here. This is a very good choice, as it will protect him and the town center and his villagers, so he will be able to farm. A second watchtower being built. However, the 5 archers at the back are going to destroy the economy here, and there are no military units. We see some pike spearmen coming in, but I don't think we're gonna need to see some skirmishes to deal with this force here. Otherwise, nothing will be happening. The king's army has signaled. The king. Yeah, just as I said, this castle ain't gonna be going up. Let's see how far Frodo has managed to get this castle up. Frodo 77%, and yeah, maybe the situation would have been better if he built it earlier, because there was a point where Hans did not realize he had 10 villages across on his land. However, Frodo has managed to save 2 villages here. I wonder what they will do. There we see a stable, and Gandalf is at the castle edge right now. We're going to see a workshop here coming in. And Gandalf is losing these archers to this. He's going to lose this archer to the watchtower. I don't think he realized the archer's garrison point is here, and he has changed it, yes. We're going to see a couple of knights coming out for thing. Oh, whoa. Okay. So again, Hans's map awareness is not the greatest, I do believe. He did not realize that there was a castle being built, and he sent his cavalry archers to aid in destroying green, I assume. But this will cost, if this castle goes up here, this will stop all land movement from Blue and his ally. We see his transport ship from Britons not being used. Perhaps he can transport more villages across. Again, we're seeing a lot of action. These towers are doing a lot of damage. Spearmen coming here to take out these knights. They won't be successful. Skirmishers here. The knight coming in. This is not the best of choices. That knight will die if he stays any longer here. Meanwhile, there are still 4 archers in his base. A handful of skirmishers, 3-4 skirmishers will be able to wipe out this already low archer force. However, I think the Tudor is not going to be doing anything about that. So it seems here we see war galleys here, and the castle is nearly being built. There will be a big surprise for these cavalry archers, or any cavalry archer trying to go assist Blue. We do see a first ram from Gandalf, and he is going to be using those rams to take care of these watchtowers. We finally see what looks to be Hans mobilizing his army from both sides. Perhaps he realized this. Oh, I do believe he has just now realized that there is a castle going up in his base. This battering ram is going to destroy this castle, and there is no chance. The castle has been built. All these cavalry archers are going to be decimated. That is a lot of gold, and they have not done anything in this game. More knights I assume from Gandalf. This battering ram is gonna destroy this watchtower and this watchtower here. We do see archers over here on this side. They are gonna wipe out the villagers here that are trying to attack. A knight has managed to get back here. We see an archer and a villager brawl. Ooh, one more hit from a villager. This archer would have been dead. We see the knight going to attack at the back here. What is happening here? The Hans has most likely realized that he has now been blocked off from his allies, and he needs to do something about it. Oh, we see a pikeman here going to destroy this ram. That ram is going to die. There are no troops here that can support this ram. Gandalf seems to have quite a few two knights. Another battering ram incoming for Gandalf here. Pretty much this area of the game, Frodo has made a big mistake. I do believe he did not realize, but he has just lost 500 stone as he did not delete this castle. Here we see the knights going in to take care of these villagers here that are trying to repair the watchtower. We see the battering ram going straight, not worrying about the watchtower going. Okay, the battering ram has turned around. These knights are gonna try and take out these spearmen that are trying to take out the battering ram. The battering ram is going to be destroyed. 4 HP. Battering ram is gone. These archers at the back have been here the whole game and have potentially locked him out of gold. All these stone, gold, wood lines have become useless. Green cannot do nothing about this. Somehow green does seem to have an economy to spam out. He seems to have some sort of economy to spam out spearmen. However, they are not being microed as well. This watchtower is going to destroy the archer. Spearmen have destroyed the knight. This knight will also go down from the spearmen. This is very cost effective from the Tudor. He has unfortunately run out of stone, so this watchtower will not be being repaired, and he has yet to deal with this insurgent force in his base. Oh, we finally see 3 rams coming in to try and take out this castle. However, the amount of ships here from Britons, from Frodo, I don't think this will be successful. Perhaps 33% of the HP will be lost, but this battering ram force will not be able to do much. How is we see a galley coming in from Gandalf to try and take care of these spearmen. This is a very good choice. This is a very good choice, as these spearmen will not be able to attack the galley, and the galley will have free reign as for all those who are here. We see red here. Okay, now this is very interesting. Red has been very passive this whole game, and this army here, had this army arrived now, it could do devastating damage to blue. It could even help green to get back into the game. However, this army being here is useless to pretty much everyone. This army is having an army this size and not utilizing it is not the best thing in the world to do. We see a few Petrods here, maybe to deal with the next army of rams. We see a castle going up. We see a university. Let's look at. We finally do have crossbowmen. He is gonna space out this crossbowman. Again, these 2 galleys just hammering, destroying everyone that attacks here. Village is gonna go down. I'm not sure green is even aware that there is that he's been attacked. Green has sent 4 villagers across to red's base to try and maybe hold out this game a bit longer. He does have a few fishing ships here. Perhaps this way he actually can be getting first mangonel coming in here for Gandalf, and mangonel might I don't think so. There are a lot of reinforcements, so that spearmen will die. 3 ships from Gandalf here. Meanwhile, the Hans is building up his army to counter, and this cavalry archer that was presumably scouting has died. We're gonna see a few longbowmen coming in for Frodo, which is gonna be good to attack behind the wall. The mangonel from Gandalf is gonna be taking down this town center. It is gonna be uncontested. At this point in the game, the Tudor has been damaged so much that I don't think we're not going to be seeing a resistance from the Tudor any longer. However, what will Gandalf do? Will he go straight to attack red? If he does, he will find a big surprise. An army of man-at-arms is a big threat, even if you have crossbowmen. You will have to micro very well to avoid mangonel fire, archers, and so forth. The Tudor score has stagnated. I don't believe he will be doing anything. Mert has given Incans food, so he will be perhaps building a town center here and trying to maybe re-establish his domain. This base is just gonna get thoroughly cleaned. The town center going down, and the moment it goes down, I do believe we'll see another town center emerging for Tudor. Look at his resources. Let's look for the pink utilizing these resources. We're gonna see some more ships. Here we see Frodo being the only player on his team. He is sending missionaries across the world to collect these relics, and apparently he is the only one doing so. Currently he has 1, 4, 6 relics in his possession. That is going to provide him with a lot of gold. We see a mass war galley army here. Frodo the Pink and his army here. These two Huns. What do we see here? We potentially see a landing from Huns into Frodo's economy, which can do a lot of damage. This woodland here is unprotected. Get in here, maybe stamp a few kills. We do have gold here unprotected. Blue has sent a few galleys to the water, to the shallows that are connecting green and red's base. Blue seems to be booming, seems to just focusing on destroying green's base completely. Oh, this is a game changer. So here we see the Huns attacking the transport ship that has a relic in it, and there's not enough damage to destroy the transport ship. However, this has provided a lot of valuable intel to Frodo, and Frodo is now mobilizing his entire navy to try and snipe, to try and take care of this. Frodo, at this point of the game, I am pretty sure he knows that there is going to be a landing. There is going to be a landing on his base, where we're gonna see a very nice snipe to take care of all these transport ships. Let's have a look at the Huns' perspective here. Over here, let's take a fog of war. So the Huns unfortunately does not know what is coming for him. So he's going thinking, 10 cavalry archers. That is a lot of gold, and he has just encountered Frodo's armada. Is Frodo gonna realize it? Frodo realizes it. Oh my god, that is devastating. That just puts his whole plan. If those cavalry archers had landed, he would have done significant damage to Frodo's economy. However, Frodo having destroyed that transport ship with 10 archers only means that there's less land army, and he gains the advantage of defending this position here. And we're gonna see this dot going down. I don't believe King Zombie is gonna just let that dot go down. He does not have the water force to take care of that at this moment. Again, Red being very passive this game. He has an army that could do so much damage and cause Gandalf to panic, or potentially lose half of his base if well played and done right. However, Red is not utilizing this advantage that he does have. We're finally seeing some of Frodo's armada going around to harass the economy of Gandalf here. All these fishing boats are going to die. Frodo seems to be the one with the most sea presence this game. And we see our first Treb coming in from the king's army. Will this Treb alone will most likely die if there are no reinforcements coming in to help out. Are we gonna see a Petrod exploding here? Yeah, a Petrod being used to explode to gain the advantage. We do have a mangonel, so Frodo has to worry about the mangonel and has to micro well, otherwise he will lose this. We see cavalry archers coming in from the Huns. They are going to push the longbowmen behind their walls. We see Frodo here putting the harassment pressure on Gandalf's economy. We see a one longbowman in range and is able to hit that trebuchet. However, the rest of the longbowmen are coming, and this trebuchet will go down. Yes, this trebuchet will go down. And these mangonels from the Huns army are doing a good job of destroying these longbowmen here. At this stage of the game, Frodo has not researched enough technologies, and the king's army is Imperial Age. Frodo is only Castle Age, and his longbowmen have the same range as these mangonels. So at this moment in time, he has no advantage over the Huns. We see Frodo here coming in to look to do some more damage on the shoreline. Let us see from Frodo's perspective. Yeah, this is what Frodo sees, and he's looking to do some damage across the shoreline. Maybe destroyed a few buildings. Let's have a look at King's army. Let's see how he's going to retaliate. He has built another trebuchet, and this time I do believe the castle will go down. Frodo does not have enough units here to take care of this heavy cavalry force. We see Frodo's armada being moved. I do believe they might be going to Blue's base, and here Blue has managed to make a watchtower and has garrisoned it. Frodo is going to, if Frodo does not back off, he is going to lose all of his. He is going to lose a vast majority of his ships over here. The armada, yes, the armada is going to be going to Gandalf's base to try and do some harassment damage. How is Gandalf going to be dealing with this? Gandalf does enough for a castle, and yes, he will castle here to protect the shoreline here. Mangonel here has taken out has taken out quite a few of Frodo's army. This trebuchet will be successful this time round in defeating this castle. The armada of Blue has arrived, and he is looking to do some damage and destroy potentially stop this castle from being built here. Frodo has just now Imperial Aged. Again, Red being very passive. It's almost like Red is non-existent in this game, which is not very good. This will come back to haunt him, allowing the other players to fight over each other, fight for resources, while you're holed up here in your own base is not the greatest of ideas. Will this castle go up? Yes, this castle has gone up. Frodo is going to lose quite a few ships here if he does not retreat. The king's army is trying to break through that gate over here. He is losing a lot of ships here to this castle. If Frodo does not move his armada, he will lose all of these ships over here and these ships. He still has not realized this is a very bad situation. Oh, he finally has, having lost quite a few ships. The king's army is going to move forward and try and obliterate this forward base and perhaps re-establish his link with his ally over here. Gandalf could potentially do some damage if he brings the mangonels, but the mangonels are one range less. This watchtower will go down with the size of this force. This stable will also go down. All these units will die as well. here, Hans, let's look at it from Hans' perspective. The King's army, fog of war. So King's army now thinks that he has successfully beaten back the invaders from his homeland. However, I do believe Frodo has something planned. He has managed to garrison 5 villages. What is he gonna do with this? We shall see. Gandalf, due to Gandalf's forward castle, Frodo is going to retreat, perhaps go back to his location here and try and hold the water at least. Gandalf here has free reign to all of these resources that weren't being mined at all the entire game. So he has a very large economic advantage, even though he has 5 gold mines, 5 gold mines that he managed to acquire, and he potentially won't be needing trade until the very, very, very late game. We finally see a lumberjack. I believe this lumberjack is one of the lumberjacks that survived the encounter here. Are we going to see push here? We see Frodo with his barracks. I do believe Frodo is going to now invest in a land army. Being Britons, it makes sense to... Being Britons, it makes sense to go archers and arbalasts at this stage, as you do have the range advantage over the Huns. The Huns really should be a mass... The Huns cavalry archers are cheaper in gold wise and wood wise. However, against the Briton player, it's best to have a few cavalry archers and mainly cavalry. That is what you need against a Briton player, as if you're playing as the Huns. Because if you have an army of just composed of cavalry archers, these cavalry archers are not going to be able to defeat even Arbalast at their 10 range or 11 range, I believe. Red again being passive. However, this is a massive army from Red. I don't think Red has any intention of attacking at this moment. He seems to be... doesn't seem to be doing that well. Green has built his first town center and his docks. He's going to try and boom up. Not sure what he might be able to do this late in the game. Let's speed things up a bit. We see some patrolling from Frodo here. Some economy management. Finally, let's look at Frodo the Pink. Yeah, we're going to see some Arbalasts coming in. Frodo is still continuing to gather all the relics in the known world. Where are all these villages going? We see a longbowman here from the castle here, patrolling the seas. Okay, so he has put up a outpost, and he's going to also be building archery ranges on this map here. This is going to be very interesting. Let's look at the King's army and his point of view. Unfortunately, he does not realize this, guys. I do believe when playing AoE, outposts are so underrated. Oh, this is why. Okay. Let's slow this down. We see Hans trying to do some damage here over to the... He unfortunately he has managed to see Green, and Green is going to be even more devastated at this point of the game, having already lost his town. This is just so devastating. He will be losing this town center, unfortunately. Is Red going to be doing anything? Has he realized? Red has realized he is going to be walling. Where is this armada from Frodo going to be going? It's most likely to help this transport ship, which is going to be collecting relics from the known world. Forward, this potentially is a good drop. However, I don't think Frodo has encountered this, so he will be blocked entry and passage. Gandalf just booming here. Let's look at the action here. Yep, his castle has been taken out. Now he's going to do a lot of harassment damage to Green. Green has, I do believe, Green has 5 villages left, and it's so unfortunate that the Green just had to be at the wrong. Not only was he initially together with Gandalf, now he is facing the wrath of his ally. We do see the Kamayuks have been moving. We do see Eagle Warriors are coming. We see the Slingers coming in afterwards. I do believe he's going to keep his champion longswordman force there. The Kamayuks are moving in. The Cavalry Archers are going to be doing the hit and run tactic, in which they specialize in. Meanwhile, Frodo is building up his army, and the King's army has not even realized this. This is a very bad situation. Earlier, as I was mentioning, outpost. If an outpost was placed here, this could have saved his life. This sword base would not have existed if that was the case. The Han's doing his backing off, aggroing these units. Mert having to continuously get these units back as they are aggressively going forward. What are we going to see? We're going to be seeing quite a few detachments moving. We do see the champion force having arrived. Are we going to see the Huns being ambushed here right now? This is the best chance to do so. He has pushed forward too much. Or what is the Hun planning to do? He has got his ships ready to. He is planning to maybe take them back home. I don't think he can beat this army at this stage of the game. Has he realized what's happening over here? Nope. Still nothing. He has not realized it at all. This can be very devastating for him. Very devastating. We see some more longbowmen from Gandalf. Gandalf just doing his best to boom up with all the resources he has. He currently has. His economy is doing very well. Probably, I do believe the best economy in the game. And here, this is one of the things that I believe that you should never do. You should never be in a situation where you have resources. You have in excess of 4k, 1.7k food, 3.6k gold, 1k stone. Well, stone situational, but the rest of the resources should never be this high. They should always be invested into something, researching something useful, or you should be applying the pressure. This game, at this stage of the game, you cannot let people boom up and just boom up and get these much resources. These resources, look at the population limit. He's Han, so he does not need to worry about houses. However, these resources staying idle, this is not a good situation. Not a good situation. He should be constantly producing armies and armies of cavalry archers, if that's what he plans to go. If that's what he wants to do. Let's speed things up a bit, as nothing is happening here at the moment. Red is just building up his walls. Frodo is building up his army. It's so unfortunate that Hans has now realized that there is an insurgent force here. I do believe this is what's going to push him to now start building units. Is he going to start building units? He needs to start building units, otherwise he is going to be in a dire situation, and Frodo will steamroll. Frodo already has begun his attack. Is he going to be bringing the archers from the other side? Yes, he is. These armada here are being idle. Is Frodo going to be making more? Again, Frodo, I'm not sure what Frodo is thinking. Perhaps he's thinking of what to do against the situation. Gandalf again here. It would be, at the current rate, it looks like if this is the army that the Huns have, they will most likely lose to an army of 10 ranged Arblasts. We see the Armada emerging forward here, perhaps trying to see if they can potentially do some damage. We see a Mangonel coming in, but he has been destroyed. Some villagers over here. This army here was only getting bigger. I do say so. Incan's military is very high at this stage of the game. A few monks from the Huns. These archers are hammering it through. So there is going to be damage being done here. Gandalf has gone to the Imperial Age. We are going to see some battering rams coming out. Are we going to see again this situation? This situation is not the best situation. He knows, the king's army knows of this force of massed Arbalast. At this stage of the game, it would be so beneficial to have an army of paladins or even cavaliers come out to deal with this situation, or a heavy cavalry archer army combined with a light cavalry hussar army to deal with this. Because at this moment now, all Frodo has to do is back off and kill, back off, kill. It puts to shame what. Oh, here we see again, they're trying to build a castle here to at least remove these ships here. And I don't think Frodo realizes that there is been a castle is being built, because he is preoccupied here. As I was saying, the Arbalast, a 10 range Arbalast will do a much better job at hit and running and backing and hitting. And these, I'm unfortunate to say, without meat shields, light cavalry or cavaliers or paladins for that fact, these cavaliers are going to be destroyed. Finally, the ships that have been patrolling have realized there are stables coming out. We do see some light cavalry coming out from the king's army, so he has realized the situation that he's in due to the mass trebs. We see the Gallian army of Frodo moving back to perhaps maybe here to try and take care of the army here. We see the army here arriving. We do see 2 trebs coming to take out this castle, and we see a massive offensive from the Huns using the light cavalry as meat shields. Unfortunately, they are not upgraded in the least bit. Not even one upgrade on them. However, Huns is going to be taking out quite a few units from Frodo. But Frodo will under the assistance of the castle, will be able to take out all of Frodo's army. We do see a transport ship having landed. We do see a transport ship having landed with longbowmen at the bottom, but I'm not sure what sort of plan he is trying to achieve by landing down there. What he really needs now is to help out his ally here. The castle has gone down, which is not surprising, and Britain sees this opportunity to see a weakened army, and I do think he is going to slightly push. Frodo should get some siege in here to take care of this castle and the town center, but I don't think he knows of that yet, as of yet. All these units here are just going to walk into a hail of arrows. We finally see, is this transport ships that we see here? Villagers, yes, we do see some villagers, so we are going to see some units being built by Gandalf to assist his teammate here. And we are going to see some siege workshops, so we are going to see some onagers. Onagers are going to be so effective. All it requires is one good onager hit to destroy this army, completely wipe out the army and turn the whole game upside down. The ships here will be taken care of. These stables, so his hussar production will inevitably stop, but he is going to be building more stables here. King's army is not renewing with these resources. There should be no reason, absolutely no reason why he should not be building an army here. Let's look at it from Frodo's perspective. Frodo seems to be utilizing all of his gold. He does have a lot of food and wood in excess. This is good. Gandalf, the Tudor, well, Tudor, nothing much to say, but he is booming. He is trying his best. Again, this unit here. Now, this here could potentially change the whole the game. This we see Arbalest here attacking. Nothing much they can do. Army being built. Onega's finally being built with 9 range. This army here could wipe out any with a few siege. Could wipe out this whole resistance building here, and then this could cause a chain domino effect to stop help from here, and this could maybe mean that this guy is dead, and red and blue and at it and contesting each other. However, by doing so, that would mean Frodo could potentially win the game if that is the case. Frodo does have water control, so it wouldn't be surprising to see some bombard cannon galleons, to take care of these castles and buildings and just devastate this entire seaboard here. However, we do see the army is getting bigger. Onega army currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and growing. We do see finally some siege workshops coming out. At this moment in the game, there is going to be a stalemate for the time being. Let's look at Gandalf here for a second. Yes, he's building a large number of onegas. He does have the resources to do so. He has ample gold here due to having conquered Greensland. Let's look at the King's army. The King's armies. It seems that there was a detachment force here that has been wiped out now. Siege workshop coming in from Britons. We are finally going to be seeing an offensive by the King's army. We're finally going to see an offensive, and I do believe if these onegas can land a few shots, they are going to die. They are going to die. Let's see Frodo the Pink. Let's see Frodo the Pink over here. He has finally realized there are onegas, and he is trying to do his best to micro out the situation. I do believe he's trying to get out the way, but he has realized that the onegas will kill him, and Onega has hit him. Onega has killed them. Oh my god, he is losing so many units to these Onega. Oh, what a superb shot from that Onega. One hit Onega. That is what you need from an Onega. Even if you lose 5, 6, 7 Onegas, you get that one shot. That one perfect shot, and it destroys an army. Frodo is left armyless. He has to build an army. He has to build something to take care of this situation here. These onegas are going to just destroy all these buildings and just make mincemeat of all these units here. We do see some cavalry archers going ahead and trying to kill some units. But however, there is quite a big force being built. I do believe some more units are coming across the seas. However, the onegas are moving in, and this situation will be different now. Onegas coming in again. Onegas are firing. So much damage is being done. It is crazy how many units Frodo has lost to these onegas, and he does not have any light cav. He does not have any units to deal with this. But we do see a Cape Ram, and this Cape Ram is going to be taken out. He has taken out 3 mangonels already. Onegas, sorry. It is chasing the onegas. It is going to chase the onegas. Is he going to be able to get one more hit? And he does. This Cape Ram has managed to take out 5 onegas of blue. But however, we still see an influx of onegas coming in from Gandalf here, and they are going to be still doing some more damage. These units, the Onagers are going across. The Onagers are now trying to push on this advance, trying to do some damage over here. The King's army does not. Let's look at the King's. Gandalf the Grey has enough resources, and he is constantly spamming out Onagers to help his ally. He has enough gold, enough wood. The King's army has so much. This situation, I am not sure what is going on with the King's army, if he's being conservative with his resources or not. But this is frankly ridiculous. He should be having ton more, 5 more archery ranges, spamming out cavalry archers. He needs to help these Onagers. These Onagers, yes, they can do a lot of damage, but these Onagers alone are not going to change the game. Oh, here we see a castle being dropped, and in retaliation, we see Frodo trying to take care of these mangonels, and hopefully, we see some good micro here, having avoided a bit of Onager fire, but took a clean hit. These galleons are going to try and take care of this. The builders here. Gandalf is very close to having a castle here, but the longbowmen have arrived to the situation and are now going to kill it. Let's see how close Gandalf was to building this. 92%, and I do believe he has lost all the villages he had in this land. However, his army of Onager is impressive. To be able to spam out so many Onagers without trade, this gold advantage is very heavy. But we do see more ships coming in from Frodo to try and deal with this siege Onager resistance, and Gandalf is forced to back off as he is getting hailed over the wall by archers and such. Castle construction. Gandalf trying to get in there, and will this Onager die? Nope. Gandalf has managed to drop some few archers in. Gandalf does have his longbowman squad that he that was initially early in the. Sorry, forgive. Excuse me. There was the army here that was initially at the game earlier. We do see the armada. The armada is coming out to help out, and he is going to maintain dominance on this seaboard, and this castle will not be constructed anytime soon. Frodo the Pink, Gandalf is trying to do the best he can. Is he making more Onagers? Yes, he is. However, the King's army really needs to build an army, and just generally these units, see, with this amount of resources, these units there is no excuse to have these units not upgraded. Again, the situation is the same. Being passive, playing passive, being conservative with your resources is not going to win you the game. But we do see a move from Red here, trying to push, and Red is now pushing. Blue's economy is not doing so well. Red's army is arriving. Finally, all game we have been waiting for Red to do something. He has finally taken his squadrons of champions, slingers, the Kamayuks, and 4 trebs, and trying to do some damage. Meanwhile, these guys here are trying to rebuild an army. This is a massive army. If this army is to push right now along this top side, yes, it would seem that our friend Gandalf has resigned. Perhaps it was due to seeing this army, and I don't think he would have been able to deal with it. Maybe or maybe not. Who's to say? But Gandalf has resigned. He has no base army, so his base would have been wiped out. By the time he could send reinforcements, it would have been a very bad situation. So Red has managed to make Gandalf resign, which is very surprising. And yeah, At this stage of the game, you're probably wondering why there has not been any attack. Why these two players are not attacking each other. This is the situation was once Red's army was attacking Blue, which may or may not have been the reason for Blue resigning. I'm not sure. If my memory serves well, it probably might have been. But since Blue is now at the picture, Hans does not think he could fight this army of Frodo's alone. So this is why Frodo said to have to the Hans army, give me 1,000 gold and I shall be your ally. So, and with that we see the alliance spawn after a great deal of hardship and fighting, an alliance forged from blood between the Huns and the Britons. And yeah, and we are going to see some Red is going to see his base being annihilated. These units here need to back off. See what I mean here? Even if Blue had not resigned, he would have been decimated. Here we can see Frodo the Ping actually demanding 2,000 gold from Red. Perhaps he was planning to backstab and destroy Hans. Perhaps, who knows? And we see some final insurgent, final push. We see most of his units are going back home to deal with this. However, having seen this army push onto Gandalf's base, Gandalf would have been in a situation where he would have had half his base destroyed. He would have been in disarray, and I'm not sure how he would have been able to come back from that at this stage of the game, at least. And now we see some fighting going on here. Pretty much now what's going to happen in this game is it's just going to be a steamroll where we get our trebs in, take out these defensive fortifications, and then we just micro our best and try and see what we can do. There are a good few battles that do happen. We will see. My opinions of this game. This game was a very interesting game, to say the least, because of the variety of different player levels that the players in this game were obviously not at the same level. There were people who are much better than others, and there were people who didn't utilize. They had their flaws and they didn't utilize their armies better. And this, there are turning points in the game, like I earlier mentioned, when Red had an army of man-at-arms, an army of 15 to 20 man-at-arms, while if those man-at-arms had come to Green's aid, we would have seen Blue being in serious trouble here. It would have forced him to build a defensive castle, but it would have stopped and saved Green. Here's the battle we see all the armies of Red coming in. We see the Kamayuks champions coming in and try and take out all of these units here. And he has managed to take out half of his army, but the combined army of Hans and Frodo is just too much. There's no stopping these guys at this stage of the game. The resources that Frodo has in comparison to what Merrick can produce is frankly you cannot challenge Frodo at this stage of the game. We also see Frodo sending a message to Mert saying that his offer stands, but Mert does resign, and the only person left in the game is Tudor. And the Huns and Frodo have put on an allied victory, so they are going to win. They just take out Green. Here we see Britons actually trying to spam military buildings in Hans' base. Perhaps if Hans does want to last minute before Green resigns become enemy, then well, there is going to be a surprise none the least. Now at this point it's pretty much just cleaning up all the bases and stuff. So I'll try and go over the turning points in this game. So the first one, as I mentioned, when Red should have helped out. The second, because the situation could have potentially, had Green survived, and Red helped out his ally to destroy him. At that moment of the game, if you remember, Frodo had control over land and did not allow Hans to go and help his ally at any stage of the game. That would have meant Gandalf was alone, and at this stage of the game, Frodo would have had options. He would have been able to ally with Gandalf and sort of become his vassal. So Gandalf would have had to pay tribute and such. Such is the medieval way of doing things. Yeah, we just see some more conquerings. Also, I do believe, had Gandalf not resigned, and actually, even though if he did resign and Red's army was coming into his base, a couple of walls would have managed to stop him for a bit. Perhaps then he could have focused on attacking Blue here. With his Onagers here and the Huns army to wipe out and finally get rid of this insurgent force here. That could have been the situation, and then they would have had to dealt with. Then all they had to worry about would have been to just land some units in Frodo's base, because Frodo the whole game, if a cavalry archer detachment did get in here, it could have done some serious damage. That one of the other turning points of this game was when the cavalry archers were destroyed. 10 cavalry archers being destroyed, which would have damaged Frodo's economy, is a huge loss. From the Huns. This game ends with just running around trying to kill Green and yeah, trying to just find Green, isolate him and kill him. Sorry guys for the abrupt ending. This has been Time Wielder. Please like, comment and subscribe. And as always, constructive criticism is appreciated. Thank you for watching.